同學，今次我們將會學習 Common Composition Mistakes in the Relative Clauses Part 2 Concept Common Composition Mistakes in the Relative Clauses 今課繼續看關係代詞及非界定子句中犯錯誤。Number 1. Are you going to see the film which showing at the ABC cinema? This sentence is incorrect. 應說 Are you going to see the film showing at the ABC cinema? Or Are you going to see the film which is showing at the ABC cinema? The relative clause clearly identifies the film the speaker has in mind. The present participle carries the meaning of the active voice. 我用分詞片語 But it is possible here to say, Are you going to see the film which is being shown at the ABC cinema? In this case, the passive voice appears. We can delete the relative pronoun to give, Are you going to see the film being shown at the ABC cinema? Important note, relative clauses like that in number 1 can be ordered to give a different time reference. For example, we could say, Are you going to see the film which will be showing at the ABC cinema? Or, Are you going to see the film which has been showing at the ABC cinema? Similarly, with the past participle form, Are you going to see the film which will be shown at the ABC cinema? Number 2. There were 3 teachers at my school who dismissed for bad conduct. This sentence is incorrect. 可以說 There were 3 teachers in my school who were dismissed for bad conduct. Note that if we took away there were, we would remove the need to form a relative clause here. Means simple sentence. 3 teachers in my school were dismissed for bad conduct. Number 3. I have a car goes more than 200 kph. This sentence is incorrect. The correct sentence is, I have a car which is capable of a maximum speed of 200 kph. Or, I have a car that is capable of a maximum speed of 200 kph. The identifying clause helps to describe what the car is like. Using pre-modification, we could only say, I have a very fast car. We cannot say, I have a 200 kph capable car. This sentence is incorrect. Number 4. The victims of the earthquake, their property was destroyed in the disaster were given temporary housing by the government. This sentence is incorrect. 可以改為 The victims of the earthquake whose property was destroyed in the disaster were given temporary housing by the government. Whose is the relative pronoun used to show possession. In this case, the victims of the earthquake possessed the property. Another example, the man whose wallet was stolen was extremely angry. Number 5. That's the man whose money was stolen when he left his office unlocked. This sentence is incorrect. This example is similar to number 4. The correct sentence is, That's the man whose money was stolen when he left his office unlocked. Number 6. Laboratory number 3 is the place in which I spend most of my working life. This sentence is incorrect. The correct sentence is, Laboratory number 3 is the place where I spend most of my working life. Or, Laboratory number 3 is the place in which I spend most of my working life. The only difference between in which and where in clauses relating to place is that the former is very formal and the latter more informal. Where is perfectly acceptable in both spoken and spoken English. More common in speaking is to separate the relative pronoun and the preposition. Laboratory number 3 is the place which I spend most of my working life in. Important note, you are likely to encounter a number of cases in which the relative pronoun is preceded by a preposition of some kind. For example, That's the museum about which I've heard so many good reports. This could be expressed less formally as, That's the museum which I've heard so many good reports about. Or that's the museum that I've heard so many good reports about. Another example, classical literature is a subject on which he loves to lecture. Could become less formal by moving the preposition. The relative pronoun may be deleted. Classical literature is a subject which he loves to lecture on. Classical literature is a subject that he loves to lecture on. Note that you cannot use that instead of which in the preposition plus pronoun construction. You cannot say, for example, classical literature is the subject on day I love to lecture. This sentence is incorrect. Number 7. Some educators in Hong Kong fear a future that neither Cantonese nor 普通话 is learned well. This sentence is incorrect. 可以改為 Some educators in Hong Kong fear a future in which neither Cantonese nor 普通话 is learned well. This sentence contains a time-related clause. It is not possible to use where or that to separate the relative pronoun and its preposition in such clauses. Number 8. She's the kind of person who has limitless energy. This sentence is incorrect. The correct sentence is, she's the kind of person who has limitless energy. This is a simple example and an identifying clause, which with little alteration could be omitted to give a possessive phrase instead. She is a person of limitless energy. But look that in this sentence, the female subject is no longer one of a whole class or category. She is being referred to as an individual, so the meaning is rather different from the original. Number 9. His father, who lives in Guangdong and works for the government, is an excellent musician. This sentence is incorrect. This is an example of a non-identifying clause which supplies some secondary information. The main message here is that the father is an excellent musician. You should have commas before and after the relative clause. The correct sentence is, his father, comma, who lives in Guangdong and works for the government, comma, is an excellent musician. Number 10. The invention China is best known is paper. This sentence is incorrect. The correct sentence is, the invention for which China is best known is paper, or the invention China is best known for is paper. The first correction is more formal than the second. The second sentence does not actually use a relative clause at all, but instead uses the verb phrase to be best known for something. Either one of these answers is acceptable in both speaking and writing. Now, do the exercise to test yourself by exercise. Proofread the following sentences which contain relative clauses. Correct the mistakes about the use of relative pronouns or relative adverbs. There is only one mistake in each number 9. An example has been done for you. Answer keys to the exercise.